Set up alerts for the new Sentinel. It has two external probes which can be placed in outside fridges, and these are labelled probe 1 and probe 2. And you also have the probe inside for the internal ambient temperature. Now we are on that tracker's tracker page, as you can see here. Let's now visit the alerts page to set up an alert for that tracker. Click Create. By default, the alert is set up to active. Type in an appropriate alert name. This alert name will show up in the notification when the alert is triggered. Now we type in who should be notified in the email address field. Next, we're going to look at conditions. This is the what needs to be true for an alert to be fired. There's a bunch of different conditions that can be used, including firing for a specific tracker or place, or even on a specific schedule. I'm just going to select the tracker that we're just looking at. And next is the triggers. This is the why an alert will fire. You can see in the drop down here we have a bunch of different triggers, including for the external probes and their temperatures, the internal probes and their temperatures, humidity, and also various other events. For this specific alert for our fridge 1, which the probe 1 is situated in, we're going to select the temperature triggers and set to an appropriate fridge temperature. The temperature duration is the time required between two temperature logs before this alert is fired. I'm going to set this to 0 for immediate alerts on the first log out of the temperature range. We can then go ahead and set up the other alerts for all the probes, including the humidity. Once done, we can review all the alerts in the table. I also wanted to show you can set up a more generic alert which covers all those cases. If we look here, I've selected all the triggers for all the external probes and inputted the same values to trigger for those temperatures and humidities. Keep in mind that the triggers are also limited by the conditions selected. So for example, if you intend to select multiple tracker types, it will still require you to create multiple alerts for each of their features. For alerts to work as expected, we also need to configure some settings in the tracker. By looking at the log timeline, we can see that temperature logs are recorded currently every 15 minutes. We can also click the pencil on the top right and click Settings and review the log rate. For our use case of having immediate alerts, it's important that we configure temperature range wake up and humidity range wake up. By selecting all the possible temperature wake up options, we can force the tracker to tell us about its temperature when it records a temperature out of this range, thus firing an alert. The same thing applies for the humidity. Now when the tracker records a temperature, humidity, and it exceeds that range, it's going to force the tracker to upload, fire an alert, and notify all the recipients.